Hey guys, welcome to Red Baron Reviews. I'm Baron, and today we're taking a look at this guy, my Stag T2 carbine. This has made several appearances in other videos if you follow the channel, but I have never talked about this gun in depth, and so today we're going to do that. I've got to confirm my zero on this and make some minor adjustments. I thought I'd bring you guys along on this hot, miserable June day, and then we'll go to a shady place and go through the rifle in depth. So while I'm out here looking ridiculous with my Hawaiian shirt, as far as gear goes, it's just a simple boonie that I've modified. I cut the brim back a little bit. Chest rig, I have a video on this. This is an A&A Russian chest rig. Freaking love this thing. Not gonna lie, I don't have any ammo in this though. I only have it on because I've got a water source and I've got a med kit. So pure laziness. I don't have to carry that stuff. I can just throw this on and walk out the door to go shoot. That's what I did. So with that, we're going to zero this with a 14.5-inch barrel, and this optic with 55 grain ammo. It's calling to use a 50-yard zero. So let's do that. So while I'm thinking about it, this pole is a Primos cat pole. I use this for hiking and hunting, and it works pretty good when you don't want to get into the prone to zero a rifle. It's not optimal, but it's better than just shooting from the stand. Here we go. Sorry about that. The wind took the tripod and the phone over with it. So as I was saying, I shot a little high, about 4 inches high. So I'll just make my adjustments real quick. I'm using a old US surplus utility knife to make my adjustments if anybody's wondering on the gear. Any different. I hope that the camera stays up this time. Same thing, looks like I need to go a little bit lower. No big deal. I don't know if that does anything or not. I know in the Marines they used to have us do that with the ACOGs. So, you know, always done it since. It's not going to hurt anything, but I don't know that it helps. That looks a little bit better. Over adjusted, but I'm within about a 1/2 inch of the target. And I will run down, make sure that I'm right where I want to be, and then I will see you guys in the shade. So this is my Stag T2 carbine, and for those who aren't familiar with that, the reason you're probably not familiar with it is because they haven't made this variation in probably 10 to 15 years now. Back around like 2008-9 time frame, they came out with the T2, which was a standard 16-inch AR-15 carbine with a Samson free-floated rail and a nice backup sight right from Stag. And again, it was designed to be kind of a competition gun. I bought it and I've made quite a bit of changes to it since then, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. Before I get too far in the video, sorry for any background noise. We're on a farm, so if you're not hearing a dog yapping or cattle or anything like that, you're going to be hearing machinery, equipment, things like that. Sorry, you just have to bear with me. But anyway, this has a A2 style birdcage flash hider, and for those who follow the channel, you know I love this flash hider. This one is pinned and welded because the barrel is now 14.5 inches long. The story with that, I bought this gun used at a local gun shop, got a really good deal on it for any AR-15. I didn't even know that it was free floated at the time. But I got it, took it home, shot it, and it was severely overgassed. It was throwing brass almost in line with the muzzle, which is not a good thing. Gave it about 10 to 15 rounds, still having issues. I decided to give Stag a try first to see what their customer service was like before I bothered my local gun shop. And they said, hey, send it in. We'd like to take a look at it. Our products carry their own lifetime warranty. It doesn't matter if you're the 10th owner, it still has our warranty. So send it in to us. They emailed me a shipping label. I sent the upper end. And within a couple days of them receiving this rifle, they called me and said, yes, it's overgassed. We're going to put a new barrel on it and test fire and send it back to you. It was at that point that I asked if they could put a 14.5 inch barrel on it because I was trying to go for a more M4 looking rifle, and they did it, and they didn't charge me a penny for it either. They sent it back to me. I got it in, took it to my gunsmith. He put a few spacers in here, pulled it off the threads just a little bit to make it just over 16 inches, and then pinned and welded this flash hider in place. So the barrel is a chrome line barrel with a 1 in 7 twist, and I've been very happy with it so far. Moving back, we've got a standard fixed front sight post or block with a A2 style post. We've got a, as mentioned, Samson free floated rail. This rail's been great. It's a Picatinny rail, and the thing I love about it is it looks like a Knight's Armament or standard M4 style rail from a distance, but you get the benefits of it being free floated. I've got some Knight's Armament rail covers on here. I've got a Magpul MOE grip on it. I ditched the Knight's Armament one on this, just out of comfort, basically. I've got a Surefire G2X and a Magpul light mount. I really like this setup because, one, it's very inexpensive. For about 110, 120 bucks, you can get into a good mount with a good light. And I like how it's contoured. You've got some traction up here, and then with this vertical grip, it allows you to really lock your hand in and get up on the gun. I hope I'm in frame. If not, I'm just rolling. But it allows you to get in on the gun. You kind of have a thumbs forward type of shooting stance like you would on an AK, and then I can actuate the light right there. And then if I need to switch hands, same thing. Still pretty easy to access that if I need to. And this Magpul grip, with the way this is contoured, just fits my hand perfect. I mean, it's a good index point, and I know exactly where the controls are on the rifle. I really love this setup, and this is how I have my rifle set up at work when I put a light on it, in the very few times I've even had to, you know, issue it out, which is basically range qual and go into the field. But I like this setup. This is how I tend to run anything with a carbine style handguard. Moving further back, another Magpul product. This is a sling mount. I'm running a Citizen Gear Company cast iron sling. They do not provide any mounting solutions. I had this G3 style hook laying around, so I threw that on there. And then I attached the back to a QD point. And this has been so far a really good 2-point sling. If you watched my AK video, you saw the sling on that AK. I actually like this sling enough that I bought a second one in a different pattern for that rifle. And these are going to start phasing out some of my other slings as they wear out. A mosquito in here, sorry. But yeah, these are going to start phasing out some of my other slings. Really, they deserve their own video, but in a nutshell, compared to like the Magpul sling, I like that this is a little lighter weight and a little more flexible. The material's not as thick. But on the other end of the spectrum, the Viking Tactics sling I have is way too flimsy and way too light. So this is kind of a good middle ground. The material is stiff enough that it holds shape well, yet it's lightweight. The slider is very easy to use. It's got a nice textured material on it. Great sling. I really like these. I recommend them. But enough with the sling. Moving further back, we've got Stag upper and lower. I left all the lower parts, the small parts, factory. Didn't feel need to change them out. Stag has a great reputation when it comes to their small parts kits. Not only are they mil-spec as far as size goes and fitment, but quality, they are some of the best small parts you can get. So I really like that. The trigger is a LaRue 2-stage trigger. When I got this rifle, I thought this would be the one I kind of experiment with different aftermarket parts on, and decided to give the LaRue a try. And for a long time, this was my favorite trigger until I got my Rock River Arms AR, which has their 2-stage trigger in it, and theirs is just a little bit better. But nevertheless, good 2-stage trigger, and the company is phenomenal. If you've never dealt with LaRue, I highly recommend you do. They are very avid constitutionalists. They're very pro small government, and they make some great products, so really like them. Moving up, we've got an American Defense Manufacturing ACOG quick detach mount with a Gen 3 primary arms 3X with the ACSS reticle. You guys have seen this in another video on one of my dissipators, as well as this Knight's Armament rear sight. I borrowed them off this gun for that video, but the majority of the time these sit on this rifle. This is my go-to rifle. If I'm gonna pick one rifle in the middle of the night or there's an emergency and I need to grab a gun and go, this is the one that I'm taking. This thing has been tried and true. I really like it, especially since I got it back from Stag. It has been great. No reliability issues whatsoever. But the thing I like about this, for those who didn't see that AR video, the dissipator video, is this is fairly easy to get on and off. Of course, I say that. Off comes the optic, and then I have my backup Knight's Armament sight. And really, I only got this because the nostalgia. I wanted my Marine Corps rear sight back, so I went ahead and ordered one, and these are a good quality rear sight. This mount I love. It holds 0, it retains 0. I can get back out there and shoot it again, and it's going to zero at the same spot it was already at. I had to zero it in because I changed ammo types. Not only that, I had pulled this off this mount for a little while and put it back on, so that's why I was re-zeroing, but I really like this. Some other things with this, it's got their optic covers on it, and then I've got the kill flash on it. So it does extend it out and make it look a little goofy. However, I want that kill flash. I don't want the glare from this giving me away if I had to use it in a situation. So I'm leaving this guy on here for now because I do plan to get some night vision in the future. This older generation with night vision is a no-go. I guess the new generation that they just released is night vision compatible. But the thing I like about this is I can put a small red dot up here, and that's going to put it at a very comfortable height to run a red dot with night vision. So I do like this. I'm not going to replace this with a newer 3X from Primary Arms. I'm going to leave this as it is just so I can have that night vision height, or that red dot with that night vision height. So I like this quite a bit. Standard charging handle, Magpul K2 grip. This is the Magpul MOE-SL-K stock. I went with this because for a while I was running a plate carrier quite a bit, and this has a much smaller footprint than a standard M4 style stock, which is what this came with. Aesthetically, I like the CAR-15 and standard M style stocks a lot better, but with this having a smaller footprint, it fits into that plate carrier better. If I'm running a chest rig, if I'm running anything with straps up here, it's more comfortable to run this stock. Not a huge fan of the looks, but functionality, it works really well. Open it up here. We've got a, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but it's a Stag T2 buffer. It's got a standard, actually I think it's a BCM, but it's just a standard buffer recoil spring in there. And then when I got the new barrel, I thought it was a prime time to upgrade the bolt carrier group, so I went with a Fail Zero. This is their black nickel boron bolt carrier group. So the reason I went with this one is because when I did get it back from Stag, it's still a little overgassed. Not anything crazy. It's about like an M4 if you've ever been issued one of those. They are overgassed, but that's for reliability purposes. This had a commercial bolt carrier group in it. I thought going with a little heavier full auto profile bolt carrier might help a little bit with the ejection pattern, and it did. It brought it back down to where I wanted it to be, and I've run a whole slew of different ammo out of this thing, and it runs it all really well. Anything from underpowered Wolf on up to 62 grain 5.56. This rifle's been flawless. This is my old reliable, as mentioned, my go-to. This gun sits next to my bed at night. This is a gun that if things went south, I'm gonna grab first. So as far as performance goes, it's a little bit better than like an FN, I guess. I've shot the M4 quite a bit, and all the ones I've been issued have been FNs. It shoots a little bit better than them. Reliability is on par or better. I've had some Colts. I've had Precision Machine Products ARs, which is basically the same thing as a Black Rain. Had them, had issues with them, and out of all the guns that I have owned, this has probably been the most reliable in this AR platform in 5.56. It has been boringly reliable, so I really like it. Accurate gun, shoots about 2 MOA. Again, that's with mil-spec ammo. I generally run PPU 55 grain 5.56 out of it, and it could probably do better from somebody that's more capable than me, but for my applications, that's fine. But yeah, I really like this rifle. It's kind of got that old school look with the M4, but it's got a little bit more functionality with that free float rail, and some of the upgrades I've made to it. So guys, if you see a used Stag somewhere, pick it up. You're not going to regret it. There's very few companies that I would endorse like that, but from my experience with Stag, you can't beat that kind of customer service. The time it took them to service this and send it back to me was very quick. They were in communication with me the whole time. The fact that they put a different spec barrel on it than what was on it to begin with, didn't charge me for it, great. And you know, they're good people over there, so I really recommend them. If you guys like this video, please leave a comment down. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down in the comment section. Share this video, subscribe, those type of things. Gives me motivation to keep making these. If you guys want to see anything in the future with this rifle, let me know. If you want like a patrol type video or just some random shooting, I can take this out to the range with steel targets and plink away. I can do something like that too. So, but guys, as always, stay free.